One second, guys. You know the routine. Go ahead and delete anything that's gonna make my computer slow. Should be almost done here. I usually do this while I'm on stream, so I could go ahead and see it working in real time if I'm lagging or not. We got Mr. Rooster waking up just like you guys. Suspended. All right, that should be good. Okay. Good job. All right, good morning, guys. Welcome to another trading day. Today is, if you get it to go ahead and load, we are lagging, so that sucks for me. Well, let's go. So today is, let's see, I know exactly why we're lagging, and we had a sacrifice. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. So today is Monday, August 4th, first trading day of the week. We're back at it with the trading today. Hopefully we have a good day today. Like I say, when we look at news, as we're looking at news, we see that there are no news events for today. Um, like I say every day, we do not look at news to figure out whether to buy or sell or to make any trading decisions or bias using the news. The only thing we use news for is to let us know what time high impact news events are going to be in the markets, to let us know if there will be volatility or volume in the markets, whether the markets will be moving fast and at what time it will be occurring, as well as how that's going to affect our trade while we're in it. And we also look at news to figure out if there are going to be any bank holidays for days that we should avoid, because that's when there's going to be low liquidity. And then usually we do not get the range of pips that we need to get out of a trade, a profitable trade or a loss. Well, it's not enough volume or activity for us to trade. So we just usually gonna avoid those days. So like I said, we only look at Euro USD news, and we only look at high impact news and bank holidays, which is red folders, gray folders, Euro and USD. We leave all these checked and we take off all the other pairs. All right. So we don't have any news today, so nothing to look forward to. We are coming out of the summer season, so there is some volatility, some movement in the markets, especially because last week we moved around 100 plus pips. Not to say that we can move the same amount today, but there is some movement in the market, some structure that might be retested, broken, or pivoted off of. But it's all up to the markets what it wants to do. We have an entire week ahead of us, so we're just going to trade accordingly. Next thing we do after we look at the news is we open our NT5 terminals, our trading terminals. My trading terminal is on a VPS or a server on the cloud somewhere in Sydney, Australia. I have a computer. Uh, we got MT5 Lite update. Update will be downloaded. The terminal updates increase performance. Restart the terminal and install the updates later. Um, so there we got my VPS. I use forexvps.com to host my MT5 terminals. I use FTMO. I'm doing the 200K challenge. I also have IC markets where I had what I was doing like trading like $100 or something like that. Now it's a little bit higher than that. So I have a live account. And I'm looking at IC markets and their spreads are pretty good. Their executions are pretty good. Their withdrawals are pretty good. And I'm having a great time with them. And they're also the owners of Force GPS, so that's good. So the thing that we do next after checking news is that we check if our algorithm or our EA or my trading program is working. First we check for the green triangle here. That shows algo trading is turned on, and then we look for my blue hat over here to show that the EA is on. I do that for both um accounts. I'll do later for that. Probably do that after. There we go. I do that for both accounts. My key level indicators seem not to be on. Let me make sure. Maybe it's on. Let's show on the hourly chart. Yeah, it's on. We just out of the range. All right. I check if the algo trading is on. The blue hat is on. Now next, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to change the amount that I'm trading on my FTMO. We're gonna go ahead and change this to. I'm gonna start trading 2%. I'm feeling a little bit more confident now. We're gonna trade 2%. And then we're gonna keep all the settings the same as is. No, we are not. We are gonna turn that to false. We're gonna be manually trading our stop loss, and that is okay for today. And we're gonna close that. And then next we go on my IC markets. Let's do the same thing over here. We're gonna check the settings. We're doing a fixed lot. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and keep the 0.6 over here. And then trade, yeah, trade 0.6 and then 0.34 next. There we go. We're gonna turn off trail. We don't have no partial close. Settings are good. Fixed lot is, I'm gonna stick with that fixed lot right there. Risk reward is good. Open price puffer is good. Looks like we're all good right here. And then because I haven't got the programmer to work on my EA, we're gonna be manually trading our stop losses for both accounts as fast as we can, just in case market. I don't want markets to leave us, but since this is what we got, this is what we got to use. So be it. I just want to double check that it made the adjustments necessary. I didn't make the changes. All right. So the way that we trade. So we trade the same way every day at the same time. We trade at 8 a.m. or we trade at 8 a.m. So what the algorithm or my trading program is gonna do is it's gonna place a buy and sell above and below the 8 a.m. candle open price. So 5 pips above the 8 a.m. candle open price, we're gonna put a buy stop. 5 pips below the 8 a.m. candle open price, we're gonna put a sell stop. And then you've seen the settings. So on the FTMO, it's gonna be 2%. You got a 15 pip stop loss. And then we're gonna have a 3-to-1, which is probably going to be it's close to a 3-to-1, which is supposed to be like 15, 45 pips, right? 15, 30, 45 pips, maybe 44 pips, because we're gonna roll back our TP so that we can account for spreads. And then we're gonna roll away our buy stop and sell stop by 1 pip to also account for spreads. So instead of 5 pips, actually 6 pips. And then our stop loss, we're gonna roll them away 1 pip to account for spreads as well. But I already did that. So the settings say we have entries at 6 pips, and then we have stop losses at 16 pips. I usually use 5 and 15, but I've noticed because of spreads, we have to do that. So we're gonna see the EA execute the trades in the next minute. So the first thing that you're gonna see, I also have an indicator that you see this yellow thing right here. This indicator lets me know where the 8 a.m. candle open is on the charts by this yellow arrow. The black line is gonna let me know where the 8 a.m. candle open price is. The blue line is gonna let me know where my buy stop is gonna be, 5 pips above. The pink line is gonna be 5 pips below where my sell stop, and then the green line is gonna be 10 pips each by 10 pip increments away from the 8 a.m. candle open, up to 10 times, which is going to be 100 pips away. And the same thing for the bearish line on the other side, on the opposite side. And then we are gonna execute the trade in the next few seconds here. And you're gonna see the E8 operate by itself. Boom. As you can see, the EA has executed the trades. But unfortunately, I don't believe that 2% of 200,000 is 6 lots. Correct. I had on fixed lots, guys. I'm gonna have to manually do this, okay, guys? Hopefully, we don't mess that up. Since I had a fixed lot yesterday, I did not change that. All right. What is 2% of $200,992.83? Divide that by 16. Divide that by 10. 25.1. I'm fucked. New order. Pending order. Sell stop. Sell stop is going to be at 1.15607. Buy stop is at 1.15. So it's at 1.15607. Thank God. Able to get that. And then 1.15607 minus, well, it's going to be plus 0.0016. It's going to give us 1.15767 for the stop loss. And then the TP is going to be 44 pips. You can subtract 0.2016 and then minus 0.004. 15,167 will be my TP. Alrighty. Sell stop. It's going to be 16 pips. 1.15767 plus another pip is going to give us 1.15777. I have to make a note now, as it is a fact that I must. I'll put it here. Must go live 7:30 a.m. and then I need a live checklist. And I'm gonna go over like a pilot, go over a checklist for like a pilot goes over his checklist for an airplane. Now, just in case we don't actually touch the sell stop, we do have to do it for the buy stop as well. Let's go ahead and make a new order, pending order, 25.1 lot. It's gonna be a buy stop, 25.1 lot. The entry is going to be, holy shit! I deleted the buy stop. Jesus fucking Christ. The buy stop is gonna be what? One pip above 1 point. Interesting, bro. 1 point. Thank God it didn't execute. 15,717. Plus 0.0001. 1.15727. All right, we have gotten to the sell. We don't need to put the buy stop in there. All right. Whew. We was on fixed. I remember yesterday when we did Friday when we traded NFP, I changed the risk type to fixed lot instead of risk percentage. When I woke up this morning and um I was modifying the settings on the EA, I set it to I set it to 2%, but it stayed at the fixed lot instead of risk percentage. I was under assumption mentally that all I have to do, like what I usually do, is because I never change the risk type, I just have to change the percent. And I usually never change the percent either until Friday. It wasn't in my brain that I had to change it back. But now it doesn't matter if I don't make any changes. I'm going to come on there. I'm going to check the algo button. I'm going to check the blue hat. I'm going to check every single last setting. I'm going to confirm every single last setting. I'm going to do the same thing for both the accounts. Whether I changed it or touched it or not, I'm going to make it a habit to do these things. Because that mistake would have cost me. I wouldn't have blown the account or anything like that, but it would have cost me a position for sure. And then the live account is perfectly fine. If you guys knew how fast my heart was beating, ridiculous. Sorry, guys. I meant to. Never mind. The wrong thing. Yeah. Sorry. All right. So you guys know that once we get that out the way, we could go ahead and work on the technical analysis. I'm gonna show you guys. I did or I developed or I trim down the technical analysis where we don't have to do too much. Especially because my computer's slow, and then a lot of the information we don't use. If we use it in technical analysis and like back testing and theorizing and stuff like that. But when it comes to trading, we need a whole different analysis. So I'm gonna show you that now. I also have to do something as well. I will have to figure out. Well, I don't have to figure out. I know where the let's do that first. Just in case the live account goes to 1-to-1 in profit, I'm gonna scale in a 0.4. So I have to go ahead and put that in. I'll do that now, just in case markets want to do something else. All right, so if we get a 1-to-1, that's going to be at 1.15470. pending order. Sell stop. That's a good lot. It already got me 1.15 for. We gotta subtract 1, so we got a price buffer 60. That's when it be our entry. Our stop loss is going to be 1 pip above the break even line, which is gonna be at 1.15630. 1.15630. 1.15630. And then our TP is going to be the same as the our TP is going to be the same as the regular trade, 1.15. It isn't. It's supposed to be 1.15. TP is 1.15160. That's what it pulled up by 1 pip, right? All right. Okie doke. It's about to self stop, and then let me see. No, I didn't. I need to bring it higher. How do I bring it? Let's see something. It's 80. Why did I put it lower? Why? I got it. I'm gonna get it right, guys. Just literally a small technical difficulties mentally. More practice, the better I get, right? Right. All right, and then I have to trail the TP for this one as well. You wanna get me high? Yeah. I wanna get TP. It looked like it is trailed though. 1.15167. No, it's not. 1.15177. Wait. All I can do is press this 10 times. It's gonna get there. There we go, guys. All right, guys, we are properly into the trade. It is up to Marcus to do what it wants to do. I do have a theory, a scaled back in theory. So what happens is sometimes when markets do not it does not go in profit over here, 5 pips or more, and it just instantly goes to our stop loss over here. It ends up not going past another 10 pips and reversing at times. So instead of if it's not going to execute my sell stop here, I'm just going to move it to over here, and then maybe it pivots back around and goes back down, right? So that's one of the options that I have. I'm not going to do that on FTMO. I'm just going to let FTMO go ahead and lose, but that is an option that I do have. I'm probably going to try to do that on my phone because it's probably be quicker for me to just insta execute than type it on the computer. It's a lot harder for me to do all that typing on the computer. On the phone, you could just wait till price gets to that area or better. The deeper it gets into it, even if I don't get it exactly at market, exactly at the price I want it, if it keeps going higher, it's probably gonna be a better entry. But yeah, we're gonna watch out for that. Now everything is set up perfectly fine. The all our points are where they're supposed to be, and we're gonna go ahead and let markets fluctuate. And that is, and I'm gonna go over the video so that I'm gonna note everything that I'm doing, and I'm gonna have a checklist that I have to follow because that is unacceptable, right? The only, like I'm saying, we have a perfectly fine EA, but if the human being is not managing the EA properly, then you will lose money. You will lose money. And it won't be the EA's fault, and it won't be the fault of your strategy. It's gonna be your fault. And and then look at that, right? So you see like days where we do have news at 8:30. Markets does not go 5 pips above or below in our favor, that fast. You see how fast it was? It was damn near in the first 5 minutes. We got into that sell position. First 5 to 10 minutes. Whew. Ah, 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 ah. As you can see, that was yesterday's trade. I mean, yesterday's session. It was actually for um 204 pips. I'm gonna go to the copy that I was working on. This one is way too heavy already. Too much data, too much information just makes the computer run slow. I'm gonna change this to the new bookmark. So when we open, we go straight to that chart instead of the other one. I gotta reset this chart right here. A lot easier to deal with and handle. So I just trimmed the session two. I just trimmed the session two box to just be 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. What the? What the hell? What the hell? That's the only information we're looking at for trading. And then I don't put session two. I just put the day, trading day. Move this over here. Let's rename you to 1. And the amount of pips of this session is not. We're moving bullish. That looks bad. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Where is that? Let me go and get the stuff. So I could go ahead and show you the profit and loss from my phone instead of going back and forth. Well, the most people probably be able to see the profit and loss. You guys are just able to see the candle. 501 milliliters. All right, there we go. A little bit of drawdown, guys. Remember we got the 15 pips drawdown that we could go ahead and experience. Um, it could go ahead and do that all it wants to, and it could go ahead and lose all it wants to. We have 4 more days. We have 4 more trading days. We're gonna stay with it, stay true to it. And remember, if we have 3 losses in a row, that is something. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, let's figure this out. The 8 a.m. candle opened at, where at 8 a.m. candle at? Do. Boop, 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 boop. 8 a.m. candle open at 1.15667. Shit, me. 1.15667. All right, go ahead and change that there. Boom. And then that'll mean the 10 pip line is gonna be 1.15767. 1.15. 1.15767. Copy that over. Copy coordinates. Paste. 1.15767. All right, and then we could go ahead and figure out where this one is. Probably gonna be 1.15717. 1.15717. And then I need to change the title to this one right here. 1.5717. We're gonna paste that over there. 1.5717, and that will make this one 1.15617. Uh-huh. And then that will make this one 1.15567. 1.15567. And after a while of doing the plus and minus 10, plus and minus 5s, like you'll be just like me, where you'll be able to do it in your head. Like I said, you might want to use a calculator sometimes because um you can do it wrong, but you also, even if you do it wrong, you'll see that it won't be proportionate, right? And that's basically it. We are in the danger zone when we are maybe 11 pips, 11, 12 pips in drawdown. We had no, what you call it? No, what do you call that? The drawdown. We have basically no profit. We wasn't in profit any bit, any much. And then we're probably gonna hit stop loss. We might, or we might not. Like I said, in the IC markets, I might try. I'm gonna try it with $20. I'm not gonna try it with no more than $20. That's risky. $20. How the $20? 15 pips. If I if I'm gonna risk $20 on 15 pips, $20 divided by 15 pips is gonna be $1.33 a pip. And then I gotta times that by 10. No. Don't times that by 10. Wait, hold on. $1.33 a pip. To figure out the lot size, I gotta divide by 10. It's gonna be what? A 0.13 lot. Shoot. My IC markets. I'll probably go on IC markets from my IC markets. Yeah, it is my IC markets. IC markets. My login credentials. No, my login credentials should be in my email. Look like we're gonna be out of the trade, guys. All right, since I didn't plan for us to do that, we are going to just look at and accept the fact that we might have lost a trade today, or we did lose a trade today. So it might be a loser, but remember we got 4 more days. No, cancel. There we go. Yeah, we lost a trade today, guys. That was a quick one too. We're gonna observe it. Damn it. Oh, we really lost the trade. We lost the trade a while ago. Let's see. We're gonna observe it to see if it's gonna go ahead and either, let's see if it stays within its 10 pip range and then reverses. That would be one of the market movements that I have observed happen before. The sell stop gotta go. The sell stop definitely has to go. And we accept the loss for today. And look at that. Usually the losses are pretty quick. Percent risk would equal the same, right? All right. I don't want this. I'm not gonna get into it. I didn't plan it. I didn't plan to re-enter on a stop loss, but it's definitely a possibility that I can try to build into the strategy. I could prove that it works, but nah. I'm drinking hand from the bottle. I'll just watch it work. I'm not gonna try it. Just gonna accept the loss as is. First trade of the day is a loss. Let's see what we're gonna have for tomorrow. And then we can do our technical analysis. Technical analysis is gonna be really simple, sweet and simple. You done disconnect. Okay. I'll probably update you guys on the outcome of that tomorrow, but nah, I'm gonna need at least an hour on the live stream, so you guys better sit tight. I ain't ending it. All right, let's see if we can observe price action. Trigger our trade. This is a exact what you gonna call it? Exactly what I've been noticing is happening. Let's go ahead and put it here. We're gonna trigger a sell stop. Have absolutely zero to little bit of profit. Never touch the blah blah blah. What do you call that? The first bearish line of 10 pips below the 8M candle price. We pivot. We hit the opposite. What is it? No, this should be a green dot. You guys were with me the time that happened before, right? You guys been there last week or the week before last, where it did that. So those are the only two things that actually happened. So I can go ahead and figure out the box here. This is going to be our trading box. Very short. You see, we moved 15 pips in 25 minutes, I would say. And then the days that we have news at 8:30, the days that we have news at 8:30, we can't get 5 pips in 30 minutes. Especially if it's NFP, you're not getting 5 pips until 8:29 when it's gonna either execute your trade or your stop loss in the milliseconds, right? So that is another piece of information that we could go ahead and put in the arsenal. That the losers lose very quickly, and when we do have news, the news drags on a little bit longer. Hmm. And that's all we got for today. There ain't nothing else I could draw unless we go ahead and retest. Oh yeah, I can go ahead and let's see. I got the shit on my wrist. We have some resistance up here, so we're gonna see how it reacts. And then 10 pips above that, I think is gonna be a little bit above the resistance area. So we're gonna see how it reacts in this range. 10 pips above 1.15767 is gonna be 1.15867. As you can see, a little bit. And if I would have put it a pip above, it'll be like right here. So it's a little bit above recent resistance, which is one. Maybe we could count this a double top right here. 1, 2, 3. This one try to reach. So this area right here is gonna be a resistance zone. Since we're moving that, it looked like a magnet to me. We're gonna see what price does. Now, we're gonna go ahead and let that one ride, and let's go over um the new form of the slim version of technical analysis where we're just looking at 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and whatever happens within trade activity. So yesterday we jeez, you can't touch nothing close to the chart. So yesterday, I mean, I keep saying yesterday, last week Friday, we got into a sell position and then instantly markets popped up maybe like 30 pips, and then they continue moving for maybe a little bit over 190 pips. So that was yesterday. I mean, that was Friday. Thursday was a winning position. We got into, and it's 8:30. I'm telling you, move that fast in 30 minutes, guys. 30 minutes. Hopefully the next trades are gonna be like that, but in profit, right? So last week Thursday, we got into a sell position. We got 5 pips in profit. We quickly got into a 1-to-1. We retested the 10 pip, the first 10 pip bearish line, and then you know the rest. We trailed and we got out around over here for about like 4 grand on FTMO, blah blah blah. Then next we have last week Wednesday. Basically same thing. We went down 5 pips. We hit the first bearish line for a negative 10 pips from 5 a.m. 8 a.m. candle open price, which is 5 pips profit. We didn't, when we just melted down, and we trailed our stop loss down with it. And markets continue moving lower, right? Last week Tuesday was a 1-to-1, but we got stopped out at break even. So once we got 15 pips in profit, we trailed that stop loss to break even, and we got out at break even. And then market just fluctuated not too much. But this is one of the no, this is not one of the, this is a bullish, this is a winning trade situation where market is pivoted on the opposite side. That's not what I was looking for when I talked about the loss. This is a loss, but it's not a pivot. So what happened was we got into what happened was price hit our buy stop. We didn't get a 1-to-1. We just got 5 pips in profit, hitting the first bullish line for positive 10 pips past the 8 a.m. candle open price, and then we went down, retested 8 a.m. candle open price, retested the first bullish line, retested the 8 a.m. candle price open again, which is going to indicate that the odds of it continuing in the opposite direction or bullish is less likely. We're at a 50-50 area right here. When the first test, it could be a breather. The second test, we're 50-50 to move in the direction that we was in originally or reverse, which market ended up reversing and then melting down. Now, the week before last week, this is the Friday of that week, which is July 25th. We moved bullish initially, hitting our buy stop, and then we moved bearish and hitting our stop loss. Now, this is what I'm talking about, right? Where we got into position, we have little to no profit at all. Markets pivoted against us, and then pivoted back again after hitting our stop loss or violating our stop loss. And as you can see, if I go and project this line lower, which is going to be 1.17, 110 is going to end up be 1.17, 0, 0, 10, 1.17, 1.17, 0, 10. Copy that, paste that, and then let's rename that. All right. As you can see, markets did not go 10 pips lower. It just pivoted back around. Now, the good thing about this one, let me show you the difference, right? So this is the one where we hit our stop loss. And then, you know, the other one, all right, let me show you the difference, right? This one and this one, they're both losing trades, right? This one, when it hit our stop loss, it pivoted back up forward. This one, it continued moving lower. The reason why day 5 is going to be a better re-entry than day 1 is because when we pivot back, we have to remake the distance that we had, right? We have to go back up 15 pips, and then that's when the move actually would continue, right? Anything between this area is just a reset. It's just gaining back the distance. But if you're in a trade at this area and you get 20 pips in profit, and then the move will begin. Now, if I would have gotten into this position for a re-entry because it hit my stop loss and then decided to move lower, we're starting at ground zero anyways. So our pips start from over here. So we're gonna have to start trading our stop loss every 10 or 15 pips. But this one, we have to remake the move, which is a plus 20 pips initially, and then the move starts from this point onward. So it's an extra 20 pips, I would say, and just in case it decides to move in our direction. This one actually moved a lot lower, so it does look like it's more profitable. But over time, when you're remaking the move that already happened and then adding to the direction, it's a more profitable move over time, right? That we already talked about that. The week before last week, This is the Thursday of that one. We moved down 5 pips, hit our sell stop, went 5 pips in profit, hit a 1-to-1. And this is probably a break even trade because markets instantly moved against us. And then continue onward, right? This is a good move as well, but we're not look once we hit a 1-to-1, we expect markets to continue that way. We're not trying to get into the trade in the opposite direction. Not the best of ideas, right? And then this would be the Wednesday of the week before last. That Wednesday, what happened? Markets moved bullish, hit our buy stop. Same thing, guys. Look at it again. Remember, this is where we was getting fucked over all the week before last. Markets moved bullish 5 pips, activated our buy stop, and then did not move 5 pips in our favor. Instantly hit our stop loss. Let's do the same. Listen, let's do the same exact thing I just showed you. Right? We're gonna we're gonna project this bearish line 10 pips below. Since this bearish line is 1.17157, it's going to end up being 1.17057. Copy, paste, and then paste. Now look what happens, right? Markets do not move 10 pips lower. It ends up retracing plus 20 pips. Look. We got the free 20 pips. Now we're back at the original entry after we got our trade violated. And then boom, we moved what, look how much we move, 5, 5, 10, 20, 30, maybe 40 pips in our favor. You see how that starts working now? You see how now, even if I do lose a trade, depending on how I lose the trade, if markets do not hit 5+ profit, but it goes straight to my stop loss, we could consider that a violation, or let's say what, a stop hunt. Well, let's call it a stop hunt. Marcus is hunting for our stop loss, and then it's just gonna go in the direction that we were supposed to be in. Now, because we could actually enter into this position for half the size of the original position, right? We're gonna enter in half the size of the original position. We're gonna regain a full one time, and then once we actually go on what was supposed to be a 1-to-1, now we remade the loss, and we're gonna be in profit, and then we go back into profit. Even further, while we trail the stop loss, like I said, market's gonna breathe by retesting the line one time. It breathed again. We had a 50-50 chance that's gonna go higher or lower. It actually went higher and continue higher, and now we're in profit. This is like I'm continuing to say. It doesn't matter how many times market make me lose a trade. I'm gonna go back to the charts and I'm gonna figure out how to make more money. So the next time the situation wanna happen again, I'm going to become more profitable and I'm going to be a better trader because of it. Because when you're winning trade, you're not getting any information. You just really just, you're right. But when you're losing trades, if you could figure out how to not happen, let that happen again, how to minimize your losses or how to turn your losses into profits in the long run, it's never one trade. One trade will never make you a trader. It's over a series of trades. You will be, if you could optimize your trading strategy over a series of trades. That's what's going to make you a more profitable trader and a consistent trader. And then also what I want to expound upon, how many traders are going to go back day by day, show you the same system, the same schematics. Nothing is changing. Look, boom, we hit a sell stop, 5 pips in profit, 1-to-1. Did you not just see this scenario happen already? Did you not see this scenario happen? We get a 1-to-1 and markets reverse and then continue that way. Can you not build a strategy based off of that? I'm telling you, since we trade the same way at the same time every day, like I said, we minimize the amount of probabilities, the amount of outcomes. You're not getting into a trade now, not knowing what's going to happen next. You know, have a set of things that might happen next. Okay, now look, I'm trying to build the playbook for you right now. It's kind of hard, but let me look at the playbook. I'm going to read markets. It moved 10 pips this way. These are the scenarios that can happen. This is my profit I can make. This is my profit I can lose. It moves 10 pips this way. These are the scenarios that can happen. It retraces. Like I said, if it retraces like this, we're breathing. Marcus is allowed to breathe 10 pips, right? And it could go ahead and continue your direction. The likelihood is continuous higher. The likelihood that's going to reverse is lower, but possible. If it retests 2 times, you had a 50-50 where you don't know if it's going to move bullet is going to move in your direction or against your direction. You can make a decision based off of that, so on and so forth. You're no longer looking and thinking, okay, I don't know what's gonna happen next, or you feel the it's just the confidence of knowing the amount of possibilities and the outcomes that the markets can make is gonna make you a more confident trader, make you more aggressive. You get what I'm saying? Let's do this again. Look, let's do it again. Watch. Look. Market move 5 pips in your favor. This is straight data. 5 pips in your favor. Hit the buy stop. Does not give you another 5 pips in profit. What does it do? It hits your stop loss on the money. What does it do next? Retraces. Retraces. Now I can go ahead and add this to my playbook. Now I could say, okay, now Marcus think I'm stupid now, right? I'm gonna use my initial trade, right? This is gonna be the bait. It's either I'm gonna win the trade, or if you want to go and bait my stop loss and try to hit my stop loss, I got a second trade ready for you. And then once we go back to our original position where the buy stop was, I'm already at a 1-to-1. And anything you give me over there is profit. You get what I'm saying? I just didn't get a Saturday and Sunday I was working on making the technical analysis a lot easier, where you just get this box, get the lines in the day, and then make it a lot simpler instead of drawing the whole template where you have the day, the session 1, the session 2, the data. Let's just use that. Get straight to the point, get straight to the trading, and make it a lot easier for new people coming in to go ahead and learn. I think we got like 15 more minutes. So this is what I was doing really. I was analyzing all the way until January 1st. So I have 7 months of data. Once I have January 1st, 7 months of data, this is gonna be a big enough sample size for me to see all the possibilities, all the probabilities. Now I'm looking at how many wins and how many losses. What's the minimum amount of wins am I gonna have a week? Now, is the wins, what's the minimum profit, or what's the minimum risk reward that each winning trade is gonna have a week? Is it 1-to-1? Is it 2-to-1? Is it 15 pips? Is it 25 pips? Okay. What type of trail? Okay, then what is the maximum that I can expect? I know I'm not gonna get a 10-to-1 once a week, maybe once a month or twice a month, but what can I expect within a week of trading that I can what you call it, expect to get? A 3-to-1? Is a 3-to-1 possible? You get what I'm saying? And then once I know, okay, in the week and within a week, I'm gonna have a minimum of 2 winning trades, right? And in the minimum 2 winning trades, one of them is gonna reach a 3-to-1, right? Depending on the day that that trade occurs, whether it's Monday or Monday through Friday, depending on the day and depending on the wins and losses that I had so far, maybe Monday was a win or Monday was a loss, Tuesday was a win, Tuesday was a loss. I can go and say, okay, the probability of the next trade being a winner, the probability of the next trade being a 3-to-1, how can I structure this move to recoup all of my losses that I made so far and put me into deeper profits? You get what I'm saying? And then anything past that, let's say we got a 3-to-1 on Wednesday. I have my original position, then I scaled in, I made my losses, I made my profits. I have 2 more days left, and I'm in profit already. Now I could probably use those profits on the last 2 days, win, lose, or draw. I'm gonna be good. You get what I'm saying? Let's say the next 2 days are winners. Now I'm even deeper in profits. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm working on right now. But I have to analyze, and analyzing takes me some time. That's why I try to make the analysis a lot simpler, because if I'm just analyzing the outcomes of the trade, I don't need the entire day 1. I don't need session 1, because I'm not going to be trading during that time. So that's what I was doing. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the next trade. Let's look at the next trade. This one is a variation of the same thing I was talking about, but this one, remember when I was talking about when you're looking at trades, or when I'm looking at a trade outcome, I'm looking at what outcome is more probable, right? And then you got the most probable, which is happens the majority of the time, or it happens more probable, is the occurrence of it is more, right? More profitable is the outcome, or the profit that comes out of it is more. This one is a least probable outcome, right? Where we got into a buy stop and then we actually do 5 pips in profit. All the other ones that we was looking at were more probable types of losses that we could have gotten at a re-entry. This one is a less probable, but remember, this one went to 5 pips in profit. So the distance is a little bit different, but we actually went and hit the stop loss. We could visually see that if I project this down another 10 pips, that means that markets did not move 10 pips. um, against us, and then what you call it, it went back, it pivoted back around. Another thing about the re-entry when we do get our stops hit is that our original position, remember our original position is 15 pips in range for our stop loss. Once we get into the re-entry, our stop loss is gonna be 10 pips. That means that we're gonna get 1-to-1 once we get over here. We get 2-to-1 when we go over here. That's why if I get in half the size, 2-to-1, I done remit. Now we at break even. And then anything past this is profit. Tell you, bro. Easy. Easy. And then how can I don't think what other trader could explain it to you trade by trade easy like that, where the markets give you the risk reward. You see, I'm not, you don't see me bringing up any, those little risk reward tools where they have the entry, then you see the red area for the stop loss and then the green area, and they try to put it on structure, and, oh, this is the high, and we're going to retest that. No, no, no. Market's already proportionate. I already split price into time in sets of 10. You're not getting, sometimes they'll have their risk reward, maybe 25 pips is their stop loss, 25 pips is their reward, and they got to keep going 25. Whether I do structure or not, my risk reward is gonna stay 10 pips. So instead of them getting, they can go ahead and project a 3-to-1 risk reward on the same chart. I'll project a 5-to-1 because their stop loss probably be 25 pips because they're using structure. I'm using proportion. So the same 20, because they have a 25 pip stop loss and their TP is gonna be 50 pips. If I got a 10 pip stop loss and my TP is 50 pips, that's 5-to-1. Same move, better risk reward. All right, let's talk about this one. This one. I need to go ahead and put this. I need to fix this. This is entry. I could go ahead and put that. Okay, yeah, that's supposed to be it. That's supposed to be there, right? Boom. This was a winning trade, anyways. So markets went, hit our sell stop. We got 5 pips in profit. That's actually 10 pips from the ADM candle open price. We go ahead and retest. We breathe it now. Then we went and we actually did 15 pips. I think this is maybe 14.4. Let's call it 14.8 pips in drawdown. Remember, our stop loss, we already learned our lesson with markets trying to tap that line or spread trying to tap our line. Our stop loss is gonna be 1 pip above, and markets try to tap us, try to violate, and then went back around. We retested. First we retested the ADM kind of open price. Range back there. We retested the first bearish line, which is 10 pips lower, 5 pips back in profit. Then we get our 1-to-1. Then we get another 10 pips. That means that our 1-to-1 we trail our stop loss. When we get another 10 pips, we trail our stop loss again. We get another 10 pips, we trail our stop loss. The stop loss is gonna be right over here. And then markets retested. Tried the line again, retested. We got a 50-50 chance that's gonna continue moving lower or went backwards. Actually went backwards, and we actually closed in profit around this level, which is a little bit more than a 1-to-1. A 1-to-1 plus what, 5 pips, right? And then markets reverse. This one, I wouldn't be able to catch this one. And blah blah blah. Too much stuff going on. Maybe when we get more advanced, we could go. I see the potential. I see the potential in big moves like that. Because we could just trade the grid. But when we get more advanced, we can go ahead and work on something like that. Let's work on step by step from the bottom up. We just can't jump to Z. Let's start at B, C, D, and all that stuff, right? All right, let's go ahead and talk about this one. Day 2. All right, ADM candle open. We get look. Oh, no, this one is a violation. This one definitely. This one got us. This one got us, right? Unless we do 11 pips instead of 10 pips, but I'll explain it to you here. Markets went 5 pips lower, hit our sell stop, went back and to the ADM kind of open price, hit our stop loss. If we had a re-entry, we would have re-entered over here. It would have been a loss. Okay, let's put this. Let me put in my notes now. Because if we're gonna use a 5 pip buffer for everything else, we have to use a 5 pip buffer for our re-entry. We can't stop using 5 pip buffer because we never know what spreads are gonna do. We always account for spreads. We made that mistake already. So I'm put 11 pip re-entry. And then that 1 pip that we add to everything is called we're gonna call that insurance. Just like you have a car, you pay for your car already, but you still have to pay every month insurance. Okay, let's say the insurance actually worked and we didn't get stopped out. We might have still got stopped out, but still, look what happened. Boom, we retraced the 20 pips and boom. And now still, let's talk about trailing stop, right? Let's say we use the same trailing stop method like we usually do. Boom, boom. Marcus is dropping. Marcus dropping. It's not retested. Retest one time. Marcus is breathing. We came test back. Now it's more probable that we're going to continue now. We continue. No retest. No, now you remember our stop loss is going to be trailing every time it hits a level. It's going to be past the 10 pip and then 5 more pips or 6 more pips for insurance, and then we retested again. We did the same thing we did here. Retest once, came back and went lower. I'm telling you, and then maybe markets closed. Remember, our EA is going to close positions at like maybe 4:30. If we didn't get stopped out, right? And then that's a lot of profit, more than whatever 1-to-1. All right, all right. Let's go to. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Do not focus on one loss. We could do this. I'm telling you, we're gonna do this. It's not we can. We're gonna do this until the hour is done, right? Let's do it again. All right, Marcus hit our sell stop. 5 pips in profit. We retest. Marcus is breathing. We go back into 5 pips profit. We retest again, and now we at a 50-50. Marcus, try to play with us. Try to play with us. But remember, our stop loss to be 1 pip above. And then boom, we go ahead and make all our money back. We at a 1-to-1 now, and then Marcus tried to go lower. Blah blah blah. I think okay, this is a 1-to-1. We're gonna close because Marcus didn't go any lower. We're probably gonna close at 4:30 around 1-to-1 profit. All right, and then hopefully, what day is that? July 14th. Is that's not a holiday? That's my sister's birthday though, or somebody's birthday. I think my sister's birthday June 14th. Okay, boom. All right, let's do day 5. Day 5. This one is this one probably a break even. Let's go ahead and do that, right? So we go ahead, we hit our sell stop, right? Markets instantly go against us. We already know what we're doing already. We know what we're doing. We have no profit. We never made any profit. Markets hit our stop loss, and in like 25 minutes, same thing that always happens. We get into our position. Our stop loss is up here. Boom. Let's see what happens. Boom. Okay, we got a 1-to-1. Wait, no, we didn't. We didn't get a 1-to-1. Boom. 1-to-1 is up here. Boom. Went against us, and then we're stopped out. That's a loss. That's a loss. Double loss, I guess. That's possible. That's possible. How it's possible, right? It's possible. But is it probable? How probable? How often does that violate like that? Can it violate? Yes, markets can do whatever they want to do, but is it always gonna violate? No. Okay. Let's see. Let's see how often it does that as well. Never, never, never discount markets for fucking you over. That's the market's job. All right, all right. Boom. What we got here? This is 8 candle open price. We hit our sell stop, 5 pips in profit. We retest the 8 candle open price. Market is breathing. That's our first retest. We're not afraid. We're not shaking. We in the market still. Boom. It's more probable now that the market's going to continue in our direction after breathing. And what does it do? Boom. Hit our 1-to-1. Now we got our stop loss at break even, maybe 1 pip above. And what happened? Boom. Market's retest. We're not worried. We're not scared. Market is breathing. And what does it do? Boom again. And then we're in profit. Now our stop loss is probably right here. 5 pips in profit. Boom again. Our marks right here. Our 5 pips in profit. We retest and then we get out a little bit more than a 1-to-1, which is what? 20 pips in profit, right? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on, move. Stop being slow. Okie dokie. Let's talk about this one. What happens here? This is the 8 candle open price of black line. We move 5 pips in profit. I mean, not 5 pips profit. We move 5 pips bullish. Hit our buy stop. 5 pips in profit. 1-to-1. We trail our stop loss a little bit below right here. What markets do? When in profit, we scale, retest. Markets is breathing, but markets this time, markets did not go back before trying to hit the main line again. So we are hit for where we at? We are hit for a little bit of profit. What? 10 pips profit. All right. And I would say the next thing that I continually, which is my mistake, I probably need to, I already have the dot, is the dot that I have that indicates news. Now, the only thing that changes, or the only reason why you can go ahead and be more aggressive on any given day, or try to scale in, or, do more aggressive trading would be on news, where you know that there'll be liquidity, not NFP now. NFP, I would say just high impact news days other than NFP. I'm still iffy about CPI, PPI, but just red folders where you know news is gonna come and liquidity is gonna come into markets, you could be a little bit more aggressive. And what I mean by more aggressive, probably just a scaling at a 1-to-1, like I do on my live account. But yeah, that's I need to identify in all my back testing which days have high impact news, because that will differentiate. You'll be able to see that, all right, high impact news days are a little bit bigger than the regular days, right? All right, back to work. ADM kind of open price. Markets move bearish 5 pips. Fluctuated a little bit. Hit our first bearish line for a 5 pips profit, 10 pips away from the ADM kind of open price. We hit our 1-to-1, meaning our trading stop is going to be 1 pip above here. What happens? Market retest, and we already know we're not panicking. We're calm. Market is breathing. What markets do? Retest the line. Now we're in a more probable scenario. Market is going to continue. If you want to be aggressive, we do that. That's your scale in right there. That's your scaling. That's your scaling indicator, your scaling signal right there. And you can at least get a 10 pip. Maybe not, maybe. You know what I'm saying? We do that. We move 10 pips further. We're going to trail our stop loss. I would like to trail our stop loss here, but no. We're going to trail our stop loss 5 pips. If we're aggressive, then yes. But regularly, no. We're going to keep our stop loss maybe 6 pips away from that line. And then markets went back, and then we got our 10 pips profit, and we're out of the trade. Let's go over to the next day. And I know you guys could already see it. The red box mean it's a losing trade. The shaded means that it is a bearish day. And what happens? Markets move to our sell stop. 5 pips in okay, 5 pips in profit. We're not doing this one. This is the less probable one. 5 pips in profit still hits our stop loss. Does not go 11 pips or 10 pips to the next line. And what happened? We retrace that free 20 pips, and then we continue to move lower. What happened? Retest one time, we're fine. Lower, retest one time, we're still fine. Lower, lower, and then we finally come out for 5, 10, 25 pips profit. No, it's not even 5 to 25 because we over here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 35 pips profit. 35 pips profit. There we go. Plus, you got to subtract the 15 pips that we lost, 35, 20 pips profit overall. Because we still got to, remember we lost one trade, so we got to pay for that one still. But we're in profit still, right? But that's if we decide to take that trade. That would be an aggressive style trade. Right now, we're not taking those trades until we have all our data, all our ducks in a row. Now, this one, you see, I have this one is a gray outline right here. This gray outline is going to indicate bank holiday. I think this one was like Independence. What holiday is July 25th? This is the bank holiday. As you can see, you'll always see days like this that move less than around a 20-25 pip or less range. That's bank holidays where there's no liquidity in markets. You see markets only hit a 5 pip in profit, if that, but we actually hit our sales stop. And then it ended up being a losing day. But I put it as gray because I'm not trading that day at all, because I can't expect anything serious. And then it prolonged. It takes forever to even get into a trade anyway, so we don't even need to trade those days. All right. And then this is going to be the last one for today before I finish boring you guys. And then let's see. Let's go over it again. We go. Oh, this is a losing trade. All right, boom. We go 5 pips above the 8 kind of open price. We get into a buy position, and then we instantly. And you know what day this one is? This one is that bullshit. NFP that moved to a Thursday because the previous day, that was July 4th. That was the holiday. July 4th was on the Friday, so they moved NFP to the Thursday. And this is NFP where markets, same thing that I got fucked over last time with. It's the same thing I got fucked. The last time I had a better risk size. I had my full risk on this one. So it boom hit our buy stop, and if and less than this one happened in a minute. You know how it goes. It triggers and then it move lower. So that's NFP. This one don't technically count, but if you're trading aggressively and you just, all right, I dedicate this trading account to go either make a lot of money or blow it on NFP. That's it. Like I said, I'm gonna once I get all my ducks in a row and I analyze everything properly, I'm gonna analyze every NFP of from this year, and I need every NFP of last year, and I'm gonna figure out how does it move on average, and I'm gonna build a way to trade it. And then once I get a way to trade an NFP, that NFP is gonna be our golden ticket, where once a month we get to actually gamble. And if you and then like let's say throughout the month we made some money, whatever like that. We had a profit a month, whatever. We're gonna dedicate maybe 10% or 5%, whatever you feel comfortable with. If you have spare money around, you're gonna say, all right, I'm gonna open a new MT5 account. I'm gonna put the money in there, and I'm gonna let's say you got $1,000, right? I'm gonna put 1,000 on NFP. It's either I lose this grand or I make like five, six grand on one trade. And then that's what we're gonna do on NFP. But it's not gonna affect our main account. It's not gonna affect our consistency, and it's not gonna affect our psychology, and nothing like that. It's just one of those days where you know, all right, probably it's not the best thing to trade, but you do know that it has great potential if it's not a loss. And then you also have to note, we also have to note that we're gonna account for slippage, because last week NFP, even though I left only $100 in the account, actually went into negative $60. So we're gonna have a size, and then we're gonna double that our risk size, so that we don't get stopped out and then go into negative, because you still have to pay for that. But it's gonna be within a range. I think it's gonna be in a range of like 10 to 15 extra pips that they'll put on with NFP in slippage. It's not gonna be any more than that. But as long as you can account for that, then you'll be good. Or I'll figure out a way where I can skip the initial pop where the slippage is, and then get in after the pop. It depends. I'm gonna figure it out. So yeah, that's enough back testing for today. I just wanted to show you guys that whether it was a loss or whatever like that, it's definitely a lesson that you can learn from your loss. Sometimes it's a calculated loss and you just have to sustain it. You just have to risk properly, make sure that you risk properly, and then go on to the next day. We got 4 more trading days left. Don't worry about it. Remember, I took account from $111 to $600+. So losing 150 or whatever it is nothing. It's peanuts to an elephant. When those winning streaks come, they're gonna come. When those big wins come, they're gonna come, and we are going to be there for those trades. As long as we still have money in our account for the entirety of the week, we could come back from a loss. All right, thank you guys for watching. If you're in the Discord, check me on the Discord. Have any questions, go ahead and ask. Follow me on social media. My link tree is gonna be in the bio of everything. And thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.